Hey guys, how's it going? This is HelpfulLockPicker here, and today's been a pretty busy week, but I figured I would try to start off the week correctly by working on a challenge lock. I know I haven't done one in a little while. This is going to be Jason Carlson's number 44 challenge lock. He named it Protoactinium. I'm probably saying that incorrectly. He pinned this December 5th, 2018. It looks like it has the quick set KW1 keyway. This is the bitting on the key right here, and let's see, it operates the lock pretty well. There's a little tail piece on the back, so that's hitting the back of the vise here, and we're going to see what it takes to get this lock open in just a moment. Please stay tuned. Alright, so I got Jason Carlson's number 44 challenge lock, Protoactinium, pin 12-5-18. The key works very, very well, and we're going to see, hopefully, what it takes to get this lock open today. So what I'm going to do is use top of the keyway tension and 50 thousandths. You can see that there's a lot of slop in the core to start off with, and I'm going to use my standard hook in 25 thousandths. One immediately put me in a false set. 2, 3 gave me a click. 4, some counter rotation. 5, some counter rotation, and a deeper false set. Click on 5 in the back. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay, got a really deep false set. I'm going to try to reposition my tension wrench a smidge here. 1's definitely set. 2, 3, 4, 5. Felt like that's binding up. And we have opened up the lock. So as you can tell by my finger, I have tried a couple times to get this lock open. Initially I was really trying to do this with the Jason Carlson psychedelic pick, and I don't know, this lock, I haven't opened up many challenge locks very recently. They are not my specialty, and they are not something I strive to work on very regularly, but they are very fun. This is my pick I've used since day one. I've always owned this pick. This is my Peterson Hook 1 Reach. It has served me well, and it certainly helped me open up this lock. Quick set challenge locks are not typically the hardest locks to open up, but for someone that's rusty, this was a pretty good challenge. And Jason Carlson, thank you again for sending this out to me. It had some pretty decent bitting. It had that really long pin in the front, and then some shorter key pins and a long key pin in the back. And this looks like the bitting code was 63456, and that looks about right, because that's definitely a 6 cut, and that's a 6 cut. So what we're going to do is let's get this lock taken apart and take a look and see what is on the inside. I'm going to try out my copper pinning tray. I really enjoy this one, and I'm going to get an aluminum one pretty soon with my logo on it. But in order to get this lock apart, I need to get out my little screwdriver here, and I'm going to take the back screws right off. Be very careful not to lose anything. Now, looking at the back, I don't think I'm going to need a shim, hopefully, and going to line up my follower, and we'll see what is going to be on the inside today. Okay, feels like everything went through very smoothly. So I'm going to now zoom in and then we're going to check out the key pins. So one was a spooled key pin. Two, standard key pin. 3, standard key pin. 4, spool key pin. And 5, a spooled key pin. And oh, there was a 6th pin in there. I was wondering why I had to go so far back. And 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just want to make sure I took this out right, so I'm going to put the key in here and just make sure this one sits. Okay, perfect. And I'll go through the modifications to the plug in a minute here, but let's get out the driver pins right now. Alright, so driver pin number 1 was serrated. The copper spring. 2 is a really cool spool, almost like a double spool because it's got a thicker part in the middle. Three, a cool little spool with a copper spring. 4 is a really deep spool, the copper spring. 5 is another spool. No wonder this lock gave so much counter rotation. Then 6 was a really aggressive spool, serrated pin. Spool on the bottom, serrated on the top, and almost like a little spool on the very top there with a steel spring. So this lock threw me off a little bit because I didn't initially expect it to be a 6-pin lock. You just get so used to assuming a Kwikset's going to be a 5-pinner, but I was wondering why I was feeling a 6th pin back there when I was counting, and then why my pick was going far back. I kept feeling like I was losing count. Now, when we take a look at the plug here, you can see that there is threading in chamber 1 and in chamber 6. And that threading matches up with the spool in 1 and the spool in 6. When we take a look at the Bible, I have not seen any modifications. It looks like it has the original cap, so that looks pretty stock. Not seeing too many other modifications here. So I think what we can do now is we're going to get a nice close-up on the pinning. So as we look down the stack, we're going to see we have in 1 a nice spooled key pin with a serrated driver pin above it. And 2, we have a standard key pin with a nice spool above it. We have a standard driver pin in 3 with a serrated pin above it that is more spool-like actually. 4, we have a spooled key pin with a really nice spool above it. 5, we have a spooled key pin with a really thin spool above it that can really get caught up, and that can make it very difficult. And then in 5, we have a spooled key pin with a really cool spool / serrated pin. I kept getting hung up on pin number 2, needing to do some manual counter rotation. I feel like it was just getting really lodged up on that pin. So this has been a really cool lock that was made by Jason Carlson. I really enjoyed it, and it was fun to work on. And if anyone would like to have a try at this lock, please send me a message and I'd be happy to try to send it out to you. If you are international, that's okay too, but I might ask you to help with postage because it's very expensive to send outside the US. But either way, guys, this is all that I have for you today. This has been the Protoactinium challenge lock sent to me by Jason Carlson. It was a really fun quick set lock to work on, and I really enjoyed working on it. If you guys have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like it, please subscribe. As always, thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope you all have a great day, and just thank you so much for checking this out.